Hey everyone, it's Corey and welcome to my channel. This is Broke My Neck Part 2, a love story. Ooh. So I just want to do a quick recap of Part 1. At the age of 20, I broke my neck surfing, becoming a quadriplegic. I had heaps of health problems, anxiety, depression, and honestly, I just wanted to kill myself. But I made a decision to do the best I could with what I had, and I chose life. And, you know, my whole purpose in life, you could say, is to inspire those that are scared to live. And it's sad, because I remember a time when people were scared to die. So at the age of 22, I set a goal for myself to become physically independent for two reasons. Number one, so I could move out and live by myself in my own house, and I actually achieved that goal. I'm very proud of myself. But number two is because I knew I always wanted a wife. And I hadn't met her yet, and I knew that I wanted to become physically independent so my disability wouldn't impact on our relationship. And let's just be honest, it does and it can, you know, so I achieved that goal. So it took me years. Like, honestly, it took me years to learn how to feed myself, dress myself, transfer in and out of bed, to transfer in and out of my car, to manage my bowel and bladder. And remember in the first video, I said it actually took me 3 years to get dressed the first time. Well, now I've got that routine down to about 1.5 hours. So I get up in the morning, I have my breakfast, I go to the toilet, I have a shower, I get dressed, 1.5 hours done, which is awesome because it just makes my life a lot easier. And, you know, I only have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning now instead of 3 o'clock in the morning, which is really, really good. So I remember when I was in hospital and all I could do was shrug my shoulders and I said I had no feeling from here down. Well, I can actually move my arms about 85% now. You know, I can move my arms, my hands don't work at all, but my pointer finger can move a little bit. Watch this. So you should see my ego kick in when someone asks me for directions. I'm like, I got you, bro. It's over there. Pretty cool, hey? That's my claim to fame, my finger that can point. So there you go. So I've got about 95% feeling all through my body. So I can feel hot, cold, pleasure, pain. Yeah, I can feel all that, which is really, really good. And, oh yeah, I can actually move my right butt cheek. It's totally weird. It's totally random, but I can just move my right butt cheek. And I don't know how that can enhance my life or help me throughout my life, but I can do it, okay? So you see, ever since I was a teenager, I always knew what I wanted and deserved in a relationship. And it actually took me a really long time to become the person I needed to be to attract her into my life. And it took me to the age of about 33 and a good friend called Anna to find the absolute love of my life. You see, I always wanted to learn Spanish, and luckily for me, my friend Anna had a Spanish-speaking friend called Becky. So Becky and I, through Anna, we exchanged details and we set up our first lesson. It was at a library, and I rolled up with my 3 Spanish words, hola, taco, and konnichiwa. And Becky politely told me that konnichiwa was Japanese, so I was off to a really bad start. But as soon as I met Becky, like as soon as I saw her and she spoke, I really admired her from the start and I really respected her. And to be honest, I was attracted to her, very, very much so. So we started a lesson, the lesson was going great, and it was about halfway through the lesson that Becky handed me a piece of paper. And as she handed me the piece of paper, our hands kind of touched each other. And there was just so much chemistry, I've never felt so much chemistry in my life. And Becky just stopped, stared at me, and then just dove on top of me, totally just dove on top of me, kissing me, hugging me. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? And I was so scared, and I was like, what are you doing, Becky? We don't even know each other. And I said to her, Becky, look, you got 20 minutes to stop that. Actually, that didn't actually happen. Becky didn't dive on me. I'll be honest, that's what I was thinking about the whole time. I was that attracted to her. So back to the love story. Our hands did actually touch. We had heaps of chemistry. I do remember that part. So after that lesson, we talked for about an hour outside, and then Becky suggested that we should, that our next lesson should be at the Maíz y Mezcal Mexican restaurant. And I was like, oh, that's a weird place to have a lesson. And she's like, no, it's good for you because it'll immerse you in the food, the culture, and it'll inspire you to learn better, I suppose. Learn better. Or, yeah, learn better. Learn better Spanish. And I was like, all right, let's give it a go. So I remember we went out to the restaurant, and I honestly can't remember being taught any Spanish at all. So I think it was actually a date. Yeah, it was definitely a date, and it was awesome. We had a fantastic time. And from that night forward, to be honest with you, like, we just started texting every day, ringing every day, and I didn't even realize, but we were actually falling in love. And yeah, it's really beautiful to look back on it. So I never felt so much respect and admiration, like I said, for anyone in my life. And we started making plans, going on day trips to the beach and salsa dancing. We love our dancing. We go out dancing all the time. And it wasn't much longer after that we actually went on a holiday to Port Lincoln. And we had a fantastic time. And it was the first time that Becky, as you could say, went on a holiday with me, saw my shower chair that I have to jump in, go have a shower. And I was actually a little bit nervous about that. And I remember Becky come to my house and my car was loaded up already. And I had my normal chair that I wheel around in there and my shower chair. And Becky kind of just looked at it and was like, what's that? So anyway, we had a really great time in Port Lincoln. And then it was only a few months after that Becky moved in with me. And I remember this day, just plain as day, like we're in the bathroom brushing our teeth, and I'm sitting there brushing my teeth, Becky's brushing her teeth, and I just stopped and I looked at Becky and I said, you do realise I'm in a wheelchair, right? And she just looked at me and just laughed at me and gave me a little love tap on the forehead. And in other words, don't be silly. And to be honest with you, we've been together for 8 years, and that's the only conversation we've had about my disability. And I'm so grateful and glad that my disability doesn't impact on our relationship, because that was my goal from a long time ago. I just didn't want it to do that. So Becky and I, we love traveling. Our passions in life are traveling, helping each other, personal development, and we've traveled a lot. And we've been to Melbourne a few times, we've driven the Great Ocean Road, we've been to the Gold Coast and Brisbane plenty of times, to Sydney. We also went to Hawaii, which is an absolute dream come true for me. Being a surfer, I always wanted to go to Hawaii, and I absolutely loved it. We recently just went to Bali, but my favourite place that we've been on holiday together is Becky's original country. She's from a country called El Salvador, and that's just down from Mexico. And we went there, and I was a little bit apprehensive at first, but we went there. I had the time of my life, and we stayed there for a couple of months. So that's what we love to do. We love to travel. We've got more goals and dreams to travel. But let's just get down to our relationship. Let's just be honest. I absolutely love Becky with all of my heart. I respect her so much. And like I said, we've been together for 8 years, and honestly, she hasn't given me anything to think negative of her. She's always kind, she's always helpful, she's always loving, and I'm honestly the luckiest man in the world. And I always hear other people out there, other guys out there, and they're like, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I've got the most beautiful wife. And I'm thinking, you must have Becky, because seriously, there's only one. That's honestly how I feel about it. I just absolutely adore this woman. And I always knew that from the start. And it got to about, I don't know, a couple of years after our relationship that I was like, I have to marry this woman. I have to marry this woman. I hope she says yes. So I went out there. I remember I went to the shops and I picked out our engagement ring. And then I planned to propose to Becky at a local beach. So you've got the beach, and the airport's just behind it, and the planes fly towards the beach and land in the airport. And the reason I wanted to propose to Becky there is because she absolutely loves planes, right? Traveling, planes, you get what I mean. So I remember we went there the first time. So we hopped out the car, we went for a walk. Becky's like, this is awesome, what a beautiful day. I chickened out. I don't know why, I just chickened out. I just couldn't do it. I was scared. I loved her so much that I was scared. The next day, the second time I attempted to propose to Becky, we went to the same spot. I jumped out the car. We went for a walk again, had a chat, beautiful time, chickened out again. Next day, went back to the beach at the same spot, jumped out the car. I chickened out 3 days in a row. I didn't propose 3 days in a row. So anyway, it got to the following day, the next day, the fourth day. I said, Becky, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach again. And she just looked at me like, I can't be bothered. We've been there 3 days in a row. And I was like, oh no, like I've ruined this. Like, what can I do? So I remember doing whatever I could to convince her to come down to the beach with me. And when we got there, it was already dark, it was cold, and we just sat in the car talking. So as we're sitting in the car talking, we're in the car park and we're facing towards the ocean. And like I said, the planes come towards, just over the top of us and land on the airport behind us. I hope I described that all right. And there was a few planes coming over and they had these massive lights, like big spotlights on them, and obviously to see where they're landing and everything like that. And when they flew over us, they shone into the car. And when they shone in the car, it was like super bright. So what I did, I saw a plane come. I was like, this is it. I've got to do it right now. I'm not going to chicken out again. So I got the courage up. I got the ring box. And as soon as that plane was coming towards us and the lights shone in the windscreen, I pulled out the ring box, I opened it, and the lights hit that diamond and lit it up like a beam from heaven. And Becky was just like, oh my God, what's that? And I was like, Becky, will you marry me? And she cried, hugged me and laughed, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So I chickened out 3 times, guys. So if I can do it, anyone can propose to their woman out there. Like, yeah, okay. So let's fast forward a little bit. In 2016, we got married and it was our dream wedding. We planned this wedding for a long time and it was a full-on Mexican fiesta. Let's just put it that way. A full Latino party. We had DJ Lobo and he was playing all the salsa music. We had the Mexican food cooked by a very good friend, Margarita. And we also had the Las Chica Bombas, which is the carnival dances. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a clip of our wedding once I finish talking. So please, once I stop talking, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. There's a little clip of our wedding and some salsa dances. So just stay there. So I do these videos, as you know, to inspire people. And I hope that really comes across in my videos. You know, I'm very passionate about it. I just want to help people. I really want to get the message out there about choosing life, you know. So I'd really appreciate your help. If you genuinely see value in what I do, please like, subscribe, and to pay it forward, just please share. And remember, always choose life. Thank you.